Welcome to the Torrent List Top 10, the show where Michael and I choose a topic, decide our own top 5, and then combine them to make the Torrent List Top 10 list. Our topic today, best action movies of all time. Now before we get into things, we must first predict what each other's top 5 will be, so let's start with Michael.
Hi guys, my name's Michael, Triforce Lovados, and I'm here to take you through a special sneak peek at Dando's top 5 action movies of all time. Now when I was putting this list together, I came to the conclusion that action is a difficult genre to pin down, so what I've done is I've just gone with movies that have violence in them. Maybe that's what we should change to. Top 10 movies with violence. So, in no particular order, I think you'll have Starship Troopers. It's got a lot of violence, a lot of gratuitous violence, and a lot of quotes that Dando like, Rico, you know what to do. It's a good movie. You should watch it if you haven't. I think he's going to have an Indiana Jones movie, just because even though it's failed me in the past, I'm going with the fact that he likes Harrison Ford. So I'm just putting all my eggs in that basket. I think he's going to have The Avengers. It's a comic book movie, but it's an action movie. Lots of violence. I don't think he's seen Avengers 2. If he had seen Avengers 2, I would put Avengers 2 as my pick. I think he's going to have The Matrix. If it was me, I would have The Matrix Reloaded. But I think he's going to have the original Matrix because... it's the original best. And his number one, I think, is going to be... It just so happens that the best movie ever made also is an action movie. So I think he's going to have Terminator 2 Judgment Day. We don't need to discuss Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I would just like to say... I don't know. I got nothing I want to say. Let's just go see what he's going to say I have.
Alrighty guys, Dando here to give you Michael's top 5 action movies of all time. I'm not going to lie, this list was quite difficult because what is an action movie? That is the question I asked of you all. Okay, so Michael's 2 through 5, in no particular order, is going to consist of a James Bond movie. I haven't seen any of them, which I know is a travesty. And I only know the names of a couple. So I didn't want to pinpoint it because then he'll get me for it. So I'm just going to say a James Bond movie. If he wants to only give me half a point for that, I'll take it. I also think he's going to have Heat. Heat may not be an action movie, but if you ask me, I would immediately say it's an action movie. One of the greatest bank heist movies of all time. Michael loves Heat. I love Heat. It's going to be in his top 5. I also think he's going to have a Mission Impossible movie. He's a huge fan of Tom Cruise. So if he doesn't have a Mission Impossible movie, I'll be very upset. I also think he's going to have an Expendables movie. There's no way Michael's not going to have an Expendables movie in his list. It's like an orgy of action actors. Sylvester Stallone, Schwarzenegger, Chuck Norris, you name it, they're in these movies. And Michael's a big fan of the Expendables movie, so he's going to have one of them. I know there's probably only worth half a point because I'm not pinpointing which one, but half a point's better than nothing. However, Michael's number 1. Now this is the one I am 150% certain of is going to be in his top 5. It's most likely going to be his number 1. It's the movie he never shuts up about. It's Bruce Willis movie from the late 80s. It's Die Hard. Now, you may be sitting there saying, how do I know how good it is? It's because I actually went back and I watched Die Hard for the very first time last week, and I understand what Michael's talking about. It's amazing. So, Die Hard is going to be Michael's number 1. There is 2 through 5. Let's see how I go. Welcome to the Torrent List Top 10 Best Action Movies of All Time. I am Dando. This is my co-host,
Michael.
Just Michael?
Sir Michael, the bringer of truths, Lovados. Mm-hmm. Let's go with that.
Thanks to everyone that watched us last week when we did the top 10 wrestlers of all time. I had a good response from that. A lot of people were giving their top 5s.
Yeah.
A lot of people appreciated me putting Kurt Angle on the list. I didn't think anyone would feel any love for that. But
I considered him for my list. I saw no one... I was more impressed that no one was horrified by what I had to say about Stone Cold. Yeah. I was expecting to get a lot of people saying, what the fuck does this guy know about wrestling?
Yeah, I know.
But no.
Is that the only reason you said it?
No, I agree with that 100%, but I didn't think it was a popular opinion, so...
Also, thanks to our official sponsors, Pop Culture Superstore and 80stees.com. Links to their stores in the description of this video. And also thanks to everyone that entered the Facebook competition this week. During the episode, we're going to be drawing out a winner of the $30 Pop Culture gift card. The only way to do it is by going into Facebook and entering the competition. You'll find a competition if you go to our Facebook page. Links also in the description of the video. Now, I want to try something new. Do you want to give people the opportunity to be able to link straight to the draw? Or should we make them wait and try and find it throughout the episode? Because I can hold this here And if you click on the aggro bucket now, it'll take you straight to the draw section of this video. Should we do that or not?
Okay, give it a try.
Okay, so
It's more work for you, not me.
No, so it takes about an extra 10 seconds.
Okay, good.
So I'm going to hold this here, this aggro bucket, for 5 seconds. If you want to go straight to the draw to see whether you won the $30 Pop Culture gift card, click on the box now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's gone. You have to watch the whole episode now if you want to find out if you won or not.
You have to click it in time with my finger, or else it doesn't work. Yeah. It's a very annoying box. Up, down, up, down.
Let's get into the Torrent, this top 10 best action movies of all time. Michael, you're number 5.
My number 5. And I just want to say before we go, based on a very brief conversation,
I
am pretty sure I got none of yours.
You didn't bother changing them?
No.
I looked at the list I had for you, and the theory I had, even one of the movies I said I was going to have for you, I actually still left on your list.
Okay.
So basically, my theory was, I said Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I said that
total action movie.
That is a total action movie, but my theory was I included that in my top 5 best sci-fi films, so I figured I can't include it on both.
I did not have that reasoning.
So that was my reasoning why I didn't. So there are movies that I've used in other lists that would most definitely be on this list, and other movies that probably don't deserve to be on the list because of those movies. That's the only reason they're on this list, because I had to leave them out.
So what you're saying is my list is going to be more of a powerhouse
probably,
than yours.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, your number 5, Michael?
My number 5 is probably the newest movie on my list, or maybe the second newest, I can't remember when it came out. John Wick.
Oh, I nearly included that, but
Reeves.
it's a great movie.
I watched that here with you, right? Yeah. Such a good movie.
So close to being on my list, but I thought I had it as my number 5, and I changed my number 5 at the last minute to this.
Yeah, there was the thing that I really loved about John Wick. It was a dirty, realistic action movie until he started shooting people from his car and doing skids like that.
Yeah.
That was a pain in the ass. But for the 110 minutes before that, it was just like the knife fights looked brutal and what you'd expect from people fighting with knives. It was and I like a good realistic action movie.
I feel like action movies tend to start off really, really good, have great action, and some of them towards the end just get a bit too ridiculous.
Yes.
John Wick was one of those cases.
But it was just a car.
It wasn't Fast and the Furious ridiculous.
Yeah, think about if we had have seen that car shooting scene in any other action movie, we wouldn't have said anything about it. But because John Wick was so good and so realistic up until that point, it took you out of it.
I watched this movie thinking this is Keanu Reeves' comeback.
Yeah. I know that John Wick 2...
It was the perfect role for him.
John Wick 2 is already in the works,
really?
and I'm fucking excited, man.
Because he didn't have to show any emotion, which is why it's the perfect role for Keanu Reeves.
Because he doesn't.
No, he doesn't have any emotion.
He has no range.
Yes, so good number 5.
Thank you.
My number 5 is The Expendables 2.
2. Did I put that on your
That's
list?
the one that has Arnold in it. Because number 1 didn't have Schwarzenegger.
Yes.
Which really let me down.
I didn't put that on your list.
If you're going to go balls to the wall and get all these stars, how do you not have Schwarzenegger?
I'm still waiting for Hogan in one of them.
Is he making a 4th one?
I don't know.
I haven't seen number 3. So if
Number 3 is terrible.
Yeah, so I figured if number 3 is better than number 2, and it's not on the list, I haven't seen it, that's why.
Yeah.
But number 2, just the cast is amazing. It's got everything you want in just an afternoon summer filler action movie. It's ridiculous. It's corny, but it's got good action.
It does, yes.
And it's got just the best cast of all time. They might not play their roles perfectly, but it's an action movie. It's an action movie started by Sylvester Stallone saying, "Hey guys, let's just make a fucking awesome, fun movie together."
Yeah, it's an 80s movie. It's 100% 80s movie.
80s action flicks are the best action flicks.
Yeah.
I feel like action, I'm going to mention this later in my list, the 80s style of action films died towards the mid-90s. They still...
Well, one would hope that something in the 80s did not last until the 90s.
but you know what I mean? Like, they still had that similar style.
Yeah.
And now they've shifted to a more... No, I wouldn't say realistic. I think it's too CGI'd. It's too over the... Action movies don't have that gritty one guy going in there and just messing shit up.
You know, I haven't...
Like John Wick reminds me of a modern day 80s flick.
You know, I just remembered another movie that's not on my list, but it's also another really good movie that's just like that one guy going around messing shit up, The Equalizer.
Haven't seen it.
Very easily by looking at... It's Denzel Washington.
I know who's in it.
And by looking at the cover, it's like, this movie looks terrible, I'm never going to watch it. Yeah. I watched it. Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Ultra-violent, realistic murder porn. The best.
Yes. But Expendables 2, best cast out of the 3, I think. Is there anyone number 3?
Wesley Snipes is in the third one. Ooh. And there's this great line where they get him out of jail and they go, "What were you in for?" And he goes, "Tax fraud." It's like, you were! You totally were!
That's awesome. But number 2, Expendables is... If you had the Expendables at all, I would have given you a point.
Yeah, I didn't.
But Expendables 2 is my number 5.
Okay. Now, one of my favourite things is my number 4. One of my favourite things about an action movie is a good training montage.
Okay.
And this has that in spades. It's the opposite of realistic, and it probably wouldn't make your list because you would put it in the sci-fi thing. I think a sci-fi can be an action, though. So that is The Edge of Tomorrow.
Okay.
Tom Cruise...
I would include that as an action movie.
Okay, yeah. Tom Cruise reliving the same day over and over again, and he's got the... there's something about...
Is that more thriller?
No, there's nothing thrilling about it whatsoever.
It's action, yeah.
Like, he lands on the beach, he doesn't even kill one thing, he gets killed. Does it again, kills a couple more things, dead. It just this natural progression. It's almost like a video game, and he's getting better and better at it each time.
I've only seen portions of the movie, I haven't seen it in full.
It's a really good movie. The ending, I hear there's an alternative ending, which I do want to seek out. The ending that they gave us in the cinema, terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, just unnecessary.
Is it like an I Am Legend, the what's it called? The production company, like the one that funded the movie. It was like, we don't like that ending. You give us the ending we want.
I don't know the story behind it, but the ending we saw is, yay, everyone's happy and everything's back the way it was, except it's not. It's better.
Yeah.
You should have, I don't want to ruin the movie for you, but for people who've seen it, what happens in the second to final scene should have been the end.
Okay.
And then they're like, you know what? Happiness. Flowers. Man. But still, it's a great action movie. I think that you don't like CGI, but the aliens are...
I like it. If it's just overdone. Like, well, when they make a movie knowing that they can just CGI it. I prefer people to make a movie and only use CGI where it's really impossible. If you're able to do it and not CGI, I appreciate it when they still do it.
Yeah.
Like that. That's why apparently the new Mad Max is amazing. Because a lot of it's not CGI.
I hear it's amazing because there's like fuck all dialogue in it.
Yeah, it's just fucking action. Yeah. Apparently it would have made... A guy at work said that would have been your number 1, man. But I haven't seen it
I haven't seen it either. I saw Pitch Perfect 2 instead.
Good?
Yes. The Sound Machine.
Continue on your movie.
What was I going to say? Yeah, and the thing about this, Tom Cruise is the least badass in this movie.
Okay.
That chick, I can't remember her name. The redhead
What's she
chick.
from?
She's
TV show, movie?
No, she's from other movies. She generally plays like the I'm
Oh
an
no,
empowered
it's
woman.
the chick that she was on your top. She was on your top 5 list, wasn't she?
Yes.
Yeah, Emma someone.
Emma
Someone. And you said I can't believe that I don't have her. She's usually like the chick that she's always stuck up.
Yes, and then she's just got this sword and she's just murdering motherfuckers.
I'm pretty sure it's Emma somebody.
Okay, but the chick from the movie, the best.
Yeah. Okay. My number 4 is another corny action movie, and it was getting towards when I was mentioning before about the last of the 80s style kind of action flicks. It's Con Air.
One of my friends at work was like, have to put Con Air on your list. I'm like, can't do it, man.
I love Con Air. It's got... I think what I like about it is it's ridiculous, but there's a hint of like, this shit could actually really happen. Like, if you actually put all convicts onto a plane... Oh,
some bad stuff could
happen. That could potentially happen.
Yeah.
Like, it's not... And what I like about it is there's no real over-the-top Nicolas Cage... I think everyone's seen Con Air, so I can spoil the movie.
Yeah. Oh, there's none of the... Yeah, that really weird acting style that Nicolas Cage has.
Yeah. There's no over-the-top ridiculousness. There's a couple of corny lines in there, but I also like the fact that there's no... where Nicolas Cage pulls stunts that you just look at it and you're like, fuck off. As if a guy could do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything he does is usually just like a fist fight or something.
Yeah. It's like as if a guy could drive a car from one building through the air into another building.
Yeah.
Looking at you, Fast and Furious.
Yeah. But there's a scene in the movie, it's not featuring Nicolas Cage, so creepy. And it didn't haunt me as a kid, but it's something that stayed in my mind.
Tea party?
The tea party.
Oh,
when he's talking
you know
to the girl.
he cut her head off.
Oh, man. Because they don't show you what happens. No, he didn't. He didn't. Because the plane takes off and she waves goodbye to him.
Oh,
that's why... Because you think... You're like, oh my God, he's going to kill the kid.
Yeah.
And like your heart starts racing. Like all the action in the movie, your heart does not race as much as it does in that scene where the child murderer is having a tea party with a random girl.
Yeah.
And then what it does is it brings out, he sees the good side and he's able to restrain himself and not kill the girl. And you almost feel sorry for the guy. You almost just...
No.
You don't feel sorry. You almost... I don't know what the word is, but he becomes like... I wouldn't even say anti-hero, but yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you appreciate the fact that he didn't kill the girl anyway.
Yes.
But I think they had to show the girl waving goodbye. They could not leave it open. You know, for that
would have been horrifying.
For that movie there, because it's such a mainstream action
Yeah.
movie, they could not leave the fact that did he kill the girl, did he not? I think it just wouldn't have fit the movie.
Yeah.
But the movie tells a good story. Nicolas Cage, he goes to prison for defending his wife.
Cyrus the Virus.
Accidentally kills chick. And Cyrus the Virus, such a good villain.
Oh, yeah.
He is awesome. John Malkovich in that movie,
the
amazing.
best.
John Cusack's awesome in that movie as well. I love it when the smart-ass cop or whatever, the agent, and they've got his car hooked up to the plane and they drive off with it.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, that's my car. And it's like dragging off with them. Or when they chuck the guy's body outside of the plane.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, bird shit on my window again. Boom. Good movie. I love Con Air, so that's my number 4.
Con Air, I definitely considered it when I was doing my working out what movies should go on.
Yeah.
Total Recall beat out Con Air, but then Total Recall was beat out by something else.
Okay. Have you said your number 4? You have.
Have I seen what?
You said your number 4 was Edge of Tomorrow. Yeah.
Yes, Edge of
Okay, my
Tomorrow.
number 4 is Con Air. Number 3.
My number 3 is also my number 1 sci-fi movie of all time.
Let me remember. Number 1, sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
What, the Prestige?
Oh, was that my number 1?
Yeah.
Where was Inception? Was that my number 2?
2.
Okay, so my number 2.
Okay.
Okay. Inception. Inception is my number 3 top action movie of all time. That movie, you've seen Inception, right?
No. Yeah, I know.
How do we even have this conversation when my co-host is just like, I don't like good things? So
I got round, I actually did some research of this list because there's a few movies that made my list that I hadn't seen, or
Yeah.
just one of them that I hadn't seen. And
you hadn't seen and it made your list.
I went and watched it.
Oh, okay.
I went and watched a few movies, right,
Yeah.
this week. I've watched about 6 or 7 movies this week that you told me I had to see.
Yeah.
Inception wasn't one of them because if you look up Inception, it's actually called a sci-fi thriller.
Is that according to IMDb?
No, Wikipedia and IMDb.
There is nothing thrilling about
I haven't seen it,
Inception.
so I didn't know that. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. But I'm like, well, you won't have it because it says thriller.
No, there's nothing Man, they're having shootouts inside their brains.
Because what I've heard from the movie, it just didn't sound like an action movie to me. It sounded more like a drama thriller, really, from what I've been told.
Like, okay, so of course
Don't tell me what happens, 'cause I want to
No,
watch it.
of course there are drama parts to it, right? But it's hard.
I will go out and watch it now because
I don't want to. Okay, so
it's number 3. It's all about.
basically the premise of Inception is they're having shootouts inside their brains,
So they're not really having shootouts.
but they are having shootouts inside their brains, and if they die inside their brains, then they're dead.
So it's the Matrix.
No, because normally if you die inside your brain, you wake up, but this time different.
But if you die in the Matrix, you're dead.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying. This time different.
Also, in this movie,
Normally, if you die in your dreams, you wake up.
Yeah.
But this time, if you die in them, you're dead
so in the
because something has happened.
so at the start of the movie, if you die, you wake up.
Yes.
I thought you meant like
Correct.
in other movies.
At the start of the, and that actually happens. At the start of the movie, one of the guys gets shot and he wakes up.
Okay,
But
makes sense.
when they go off to do their major caper things, it's like, well, no, actually, if you die here, you're going to be dead. And there's shootouts and there's infiltrations of military bases and it's an action movie. IMDb can suck my dick. I am the genre king and I declare it an action movie.
My number 3 is a Bruce Willis movie from 1991.
I know it's not Die Hard.
From 1991.
Yeah.
It's The Last Boy Scout.
Okay.
Have you seen
Is
this
that an
movie?
action movie?
Yeah, it is an action movie. Yeah.
See, that's a weird thing with war movies, right? Are war movies action?
This isn't it's not a war movie. This
No,
is
it
this is him with Damon Wayans and man, have you?
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of
It's
Red
got-
October. No.
I will spoil the start for you because this just sets up how fucking good the movie is. It starts off with a football game, American football game,
Yep.
and it's like some championship or whatever.
Okay.
And it's halftime and the team's going down. They need like a try to win, like
Yep.
a touchdown. And they're rubbing themselves up, and then the star quarterback
They're doing what?
revving themselves up.
You said rubbing, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry, revving. I meant revving, sorry. And he gets a phone call from a guy that says, you know how much is riding on this game, you better score or you're finished, or you're
Yep.
dead, you're gone. So what this guy does is, he runs out, he's going for the touchdown, 3 guys in front of him, pulls out a gun, shoots them dead on the field, in the face, right? And then shoots himself in the head. He says, isn't life a bitch? Shoots himself in the head. The movie is about gambling and sport and how it's all corrupt.
Okay.
And the premise is Damon Wayans plays an ex-footballer who got fired from the league for betting on the sport.
Yep.
And his girlfriend is Halle Berry. And
How unfortunate for him.
yeah, and she gets killed at the very start. She gets killed at the very start. She's in for like 5 minutes, right?
Okay, yep.
She gets killed at the very start, and they find out it's because she found a tape of the head of the football team that this guy played for, the Damon Wayans guy.
Yep.
And
This sounds way more of a thriller than Inception does.
No. Well, I haven't seen Inception,
Yeah.
but the senator and all that, it's all corrupt. And she had a tape audio,
Yeah.
So they got a hit on her and got her killed. Damon
Okay.
Wayans figures this out, and he hires Bruce Willis, who was an ex-security for the president.
Okay.
And for some reason, he lost his job. Can't remember. He's like one of those. Now Bruce Willis plays the guy that's like a stubborn ex-cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of
He's
guy.
basically Max Payne.
So he gets hired by Damon Wayans to take on the bad guys. And dude, the way he kills the bad guy at the end, so so brutal. Like,
I don't think I've seen that movie.
you have to watch it. It's so good, man. Like it is a Bruce Willis 80s action flick, but it was released in 91. But
I feel like... Is this your only Bruce Willis movie on your list?
No.
Have you seen movies that you hadn't previously seen before?
Yes.
That's not fair, man. Because every time I put Die Hard on your list, you're like, I haven't seen Die Hard! If you've seen Die Hard now...
I put in effort.
I'm taking a point. If you, even though it's not on your list, if you put Die Hard on your list, I'm taking a point by default.
Okay, I going into this list, I thought there's too many good movies that I haven't seen. I have to start watching them. So I looked it up, and if they were considered in the top action movies, I watched them.
Yes.
And yeah, obviously Inception I didn't.
Yeah,
because it wasn't on any of the lists I saw.
Yeah.
But,
those lists are wrong.
Yeah, okay. So Last Boy Scout, my number 3, I highly advise. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
I don't think I have.
It's awesome. It's really good. So Last Boy Scout. Number 2, let's do the draw.
Sweet.
Michael's going to draw out a name. If you enter the competition, your name will be in this aggro bucket. The person who draws out wins a $30 Pop Culture gift card, courtesy of Pop Culture.
I would hope so. Not courtesy of someone else. Yeah. Adam Parry. And it is The Killer.
No idea what that movie is.
No clue.
Do you know it?
Nope, no clue.
Okay, well, congratulations, Adam Parry. You just won yourself a $30 gift card. Contact us. You have to watch the show to claim your prize. So if you didn't win, watch next week, because you might win. Because we ain't going to tell you. You have to watch the show and then contact us and say, can I have my card, please?
We're definitely not going to tell you who wins next week, because we don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
No.
So, your number 2.
My number 2 is Die Hard.
Die Hard's your number 2. Okay.
Die Hard's my number 2.
I had Die Hard as your number 1.
I considered it for my number 1, but then I didn't. And probably judging off the conversation we had just briefly off air, you probably know what my number 1 is now. Yeah. So, Die Hard. And specifically Die Hard 1. Die Hard 1 is one of the greatest action movies of all time. It's actually the second greatest action movie of all time if you look at my list.
It's not there. It's my number 1. Let's discuss it.
It's your number 1?
Yeah.
All right.
I went and watched it, people.
I'm so impressed.
I can understand why people like it now.
I'm so
Hans
impressed.
Gruber, best villain I've ever seen in my life.
Amazing, right?
He's not a villain. He's just a Weasley dude.
Yeah.
But he's so evil.
I've got a machine gun.
At the end, I mean, where he's like, the bombs on the roof. There's like, someone's onto us. Blow the roof up! And he's like, but there's people on it. Blow the roof up! And he's like, just blows the roof up.
Excellent.
That's so good.
Yeah. I have a machine gun.
I feel his death was pretty lame though. Like, I know.
Falling off the thing.
But back when it was made, it would have been awesome special effects.
Yeah.
And the dude, he had some really, really corny one-liners. He's like, I hope that's not a hostage. As he's falling. That kind of put a damper on.
But I think that was good though. I think that was supposed to be
the comedy relief.
Just terrible.
Yeah.
They were all just except for Black Cop.
No, yeah.
How good is it?
Oh man, I can understand why you were frustrated that I hadn't seen it.
Is it the only one you've seen?
Yes.
Okay. So, Die Hard 2, also very good. That's the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh. Okay.
No. Wait. One of them's in an airport.
I know Predator 2 has Donald Glover.
One of them's in an airport. It's not that great. But the other one that's not in an airport, that's good.
Okay.
And then the one in Russia, not good.
Is that number 4?
That's No, that's number 5. Number 4, good. Number 5, not good.
What was Die Hard 4.0 or something, wasn't it?
Yes, good.
Okay.
Die Hard 5, not good.
But what I liked about it, it was just that gritty.
Yes.
Die Hard is the action movie.
It is. That's the movie. Like, he gets so beat up in that movie.
I know,
and that's what I want. I don't want Superman running around killing everyone. I want someone that's like, man, I don't think he's going to get through this.
Like, there's a point towards the end as well where he just hung the guy from the chain, I think. Maybe it was just before that. And the guys are shooting at him. He's getting shot in the shoulder. And I'm like, he's getting shot.
He's going to die.
Yeah. What's going on?
How good was that German guy?
Which one?
The
blonde one.
The blonde one, yeah. Oh, I'm so happy that you've seen Die Hard. I can't even talk about it. I'm just happy that you've finally seen it.
I thought it was a bit corny when he got the fire hose hanging from the roof.
Yes.
I'm like, it's getting a bit ridiculous, but
it's an action movie.
Yeah. It wasn't too... Because it could happen.
Yes,
you know,
it could happen.
It wasn't like a Fast and Furious 7 where you're hanging grenades off helicopters and stuff.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. No?
Let's get in the car and roll backwards out of an aeroplane and land safely on the highway at 100 km an hour.
Actually, they did that.
What do you mean?
That was not CGI.
Oh, yeah, I know it wasn't CGI.
Yeah.
But it's just ridiculous.
Well, but they did it.
But I don't... No way!
They did.
There wouldn't have been people in the cars when they actually did it. Vin Diesel did not come out of a plane in a car.
No, Vin Diesel didn't. His stunt double did.
Oh, I want to see the actual footage.
James Diesel.
Vincent Diesel.
Yeah.
So, good number 2?
Yeah, it's good, yeah.
My number 2 is a movie I also watched this week because guys at work were telling me how awesome it is, and it's fucking really good.
If you're going to do things like watch movies and stuff, your list will become hard to...
For now on, think of movies that... Think that I might do research now.
Okay, alright.
I'm going to start making efforts. I'm not gonna I was sick of watching the top 10s when I was editing them and watching myself go, I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. So this movie, it's a Malaysian movie, Indonesian movie. The Raid.
The Raid. Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen it, but I know everyone recommends it. Everyone recommends it.
It is so good. The first hour and a half, the last 20 minutes is a bit ridiculous. And can I say why?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Because I'll explain the premise in a minute, but it's because they stopped using guns and it was like, I prefer to fight with my hands. And I'm like...
Honour, man. Honour.
But it's like, this is a drug lord. You're his main lackeys. If you had a gun to this guy's face, you'd shoot him.
Yeah, probably.
You wouldn't put your gun down and say, when the other guy has a weapon, and then say, let's do this with our hands.
Yeah.
And the other guy goes, okay. And then it's like a 10-minute fist fight.
Honour, mate. Honour.
Yeah, it's just...
Real men stand in trade.
But that's what I liked about it. It was different.
Yep.
And who knows, that might happen over there. They might decide to do that. But basically the premise is, it's a SWAT team.
Yep.
Who get, he's like a lieutenant or something, but you find out later in the... I don't want to ruin the movie for you. But they get sent into a house, they've got to take this drug lord down.
Yep.
And he's at the top, and they've got to work their way up
level
by
so it's
level.
Judge Dredd. It's the new Judge Dredd, basically.
Yeah, far more gritty than Judge Dredd.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, but it's the same premise as the new Judge Dredd.
Got to get to the top.
That's probably where they stole it from.
2011 was when this...
The new Judge Dredd came out last year.
Yeah, but I mean Judge Dredd stole it from.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, yeah. But basically, level by level, and it gets to the point where the boss, because the tenants like worship the drug lord.
Yep.
And he comes over the speaker and says, every body you bring to me, you and a member of your family can stay in this house forever for free rent. So then the tenants turn on the cops as well. So they're just going to take on everybody.
This is exactly the new Judge Dredd.
It's just basically like watching a video game. It is amazing. Like Nicola was just like, I can't watch any of this. It's just so brutal.
I'm going to have to watch it
The last half of the movie, they're just using knives. So it's just like...
Oh.
There's one point, I won't remember, but there's one point where the guy was getting knives into people's legs and then ripping it down to the knees. Oh man, I've been thinking about it.
You're going to bleed a lot, son.
Oh, it wasn't good. It's just, you have to see it. The Raid, man.
Die.
Can't recommend it enough. The only annoying thing about it is, obviously, it's an Indonesian movie.
Yeah.
But what they did was, they had American actors overdub the voices, so the mouths don't move.
Is it terrible? I'd rather just read the subtitles, man.
And the stupidest part about it is they even do the grunting in the fight sequences.
I'd rather just read the subtitles.
Yeah, because I feel like the actors didn't care. They weren't putting
the voice actors.
It didn't match the feeling of the scene, the mood of the scene. Just the way they were talking. It's like you'd be revved up, but it was just like, let's go, let's fight now.
I bet you one of them's Yu-Gi-Oh.
I don't know.
I bet you're going to watch it and go, that's motherfucking Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah. But I can't recommend it enough. The Raid, such a good movie. And
I want to watch
apparently Raid 2 is even better, but I haven't seen it yet. Didn't have enough time.
I want to watch it on one screen, and I want to watch the new Judge Dredd on the other screen, and see if it is legitimately just a fucking scene for scene, because it sounds like it is.
Okay.
It dead set sounds like Judge Dredd just stole everything from this movie.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 2, The Raid. Had I known I was allowed to have this movie on my list, my number 1 would have been Terminator 2, which is his number 1.
Do I get points for that? Because I put Terminator 2 as your number 1.
You can have half a point. I think you've won anyway. You can have half a point, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not on my list at all because I didn't know it, but I would have had it as my number one.
It would have been your number
Just
one.
take 2 points. Who cares?
Yes, I need a win.
My number one's Die Hard, as I said.
And my number one is Terminator.
My number two would have been Die Hard, then Terminator 2.
Yeah, exactly like mine. Yeah. Terminator, Judgment Day.
It doesn't get any better than that as an action movie.
It is the best action movie. Like, everything in that movie is now a pop culture quote.
You know, the best thing about that movie is that Arnold Schwarzenegger died in the end. It didn't give you that, like you said, Edge of Tomorrow. Like, everyone remembers Arnold Schwarzenegger's finger going down.
I'm tearing up.
Man, it still makes it... you watch it now and your heart still races a bit.
Feels. It's just... It's a god.
Every kid...
Come with me if you want to live.
Your family are dead. Okay, your father are dead or whatever. What's he say? How's Wolfie? Wolfie's fine, dear.
Your family are dead.
I love that scene. But I watched that as a kid. When you're a kid watching that movie, you want a Terminator as a friend.
Oh, hell yeah.
Man, how good would it have been?
Yeah.
No one would ever pick on you.
No, because he'll grab them by the hair, beat up their friends, and then try and shoot them in the face.
It'll just crush their head.
Yeah. And there's so many good parts in that movie as well. The assault on what's it called? Skynet. Yeah, but not Skynet. The Datadyne. The company that makes Skynet. Yeah.
Where the black guy's holding
boom, and then fucking him with the minigun and just like it's a straight up action.
Is that when the helicopter comes down and he just goes?
Yeah, but he doesn't kill anyone.
No, because he's not allowed to.
Yeah, he's not allowed to. 0.0% chance. I don't know what the 0.0 is for.
But we're also forgetting one of the best movie villains of all time.
T-1000.
Liquid Metal Man, for those of you playing at home.
So good. So I don't enjoy that they're bringing him back for the last one, but it's a different guy.
Yeah, I know. It's an Asian dude, isn't it?
Asian dude. It's a guy from,
Apparently there's a scene that people are raging about where he chops his own arm off. And then it's in a trailer or something.
Yeah.
He's got, you got the blades?
Yeah.
He goes, chops his own blade off.
Yeah.
And then throws like a javelin.
Why are people unhappy with that?
I know, they reckon it's a bit too over the top CGI and ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen it, so I can't say. For me, I don't care about CGI, as long as it doesn't take me out of the moment.
Yeah.
So, Judgment Day is not only one of the best movies ever made, but it is an action movie. So,
what's better? See, Die Hard and Terminator 2, two different types of action, in my opinion.
Yes.
Die Hard's your gritty, sort of like one guy going to save the day.
Yeah.
Where Terminator 2 is
your
just
robot violence.
This is as much action as we can possibly fit into one movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, lots of explosions. There's molten steel for some reason.
And there's so much
liquid nitrogen.
The special effects were shit we'd never seen before. Liquid Metal Man, we'd never seen anything like that before in a movie. No.
And like I look at it now, it doesn't look that good. But I remember the first time I saw that, I was like, the first time I saw that, I was like, that's a real robot.
Yeah,
that is 100. You can't fake that.
Yeah,
that's 100%. And when he cuts off his arm, pulls his skin, and they're like, he's a robot. Yeah. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a real life robot. They were amazing.
I don't think there'll ever be a better action movie than that. I don't think they'll ever be able to top it.
No, I really don't think they can. Good on you.
James
Arnold
Cameron.
James
Cameron.
James Cameron, yeah.
You can kind of understand why it was so good, because James Cameron, he backs himself up.
He's got a good track record.
He hasn't made that many movies, but every movie is a blockbuster. Titanic.
Yep.
Avatar.
Avatar, he lost me a little bit on. I was just waiting until the technology caught up to... It's like, fuck off, you smarmy prick.
Yeah, I think it was... Avatar went a bit long, in my opinion. But anyway, let's not talk about Avatar.
And it's not an original story either.
Isn't it?
No.
Oh, because it was that cartoon.
Dances with Wolves.
Yeah. Wasn't there a cartoon Avatar, or was that completely different?
No, that's completely different. I'm saying that the premise of the story is Pocahontas dances with Wolves. It's just the same shit.
Yeah, anyway. So, Terminator 2, that's a great... That would have been my number one.
Good.
Alright, let's go.
I'm taking the spiritual victory. I don't know if it's a real victory or not. Now, someone tell us.
I can tell you what I was supposed to change. I had Heat in your 2 through 5.
Yep.
I was going to change it with First Blood.
Okay. Of all the Rambo movies, I do enjoy the Rambo movies. The most recent one, John Rambo, is the one I like the most.
Okay.
That is murder porn. Yeah. That's so good.
I say Heat, First Blood, whatever. Yep. I just put a James Bond movie.
Okay. Yep. That's a weird category, James Bond movies, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's weird because if a spy's doing his job, there shouldn't be much action going on. But then again, there's Pierce Brosnan driving down the fucking street in a tank. So
I just know how much you love James Bond. Yeah. And I'm like, I know names of them, but I don't know which one you like. So hey, James Bond. Yeah. I'll take half a point for that.
GoldenEye, that's the one.
Yeah. Any of the Expendables movies?
Yeah, I seriously thought about it, but like, this was a hard list for me.
Yeah.
When I got to 11, it was really hard to be like, who am I going to get out now? Yeah.
I thought you'd have a Mission Impossible movie.
Again, it's a weird one because spies, I don't think action for some reason, but there's fucking Tom Cruise blowing everything up.
And Die Hard is number one.
Die Hard very close to being my number one. For you...
So I got none. I got 1 point.
You got 1 point. Yeah. And for you, like, I didn't... Because, like, all of the action movies I think of, you're like, I haven't seen. Yeah, so this was hard for me. So I thought you'd have Starship Troopers.
Sci-fi. Sci-fi list.
Yeah. Good though, right?
Oh, it would have been very close to making my list. Yeah. It probably would have made my list. How fucking good is that movie?
Oh, such a good movie. Indiana Jones.
I loved Temple of Doom as a kid. I considered putting that on. Yeah. But then I thought it was more of it's an action adventure.
Yeah, when
I thought about action, I thought, what is Michael going to think action is? I know how much you love Die Hard, so I'm like, okay, I've got to stick to the Die Hard mentality.
Yeah. Genres are hard. Basically, for me, action, if there's a good portion of the movie spent some sort of violence going on, then you're an action movie.
Yeah.
To that point, I thought you'd have The Avengers.
Oh, no. I wasn't a huge fan of the Avengers movies.
I did not.
They weren't terrible movies, just,
Did you see the second one?
Yeah.
I didn't enjoy it?
I enjoyed it for what I enjoyed it for what it was. I went in there expecting a comic book movie, and that's exactly what I got. I just felt it was, I don't know, it just wasn't as, I can't explain it. I just didn't really, I felt the dialogue was a bit weak.
Ultron was great, man.
Oh, yeah, he was a great villain, but it was just, you knew how it was going to end.
Well, you know how every movie's going to end.
I know.
Watch The Avengers 3, because I guarantee you don't know how that's going to end.
Yeah, I don't.
I do, but you don't.
But then, I don't know, I just felt the dialogue annoyed me. It was parts where I just rolled my eyes.
That's Whedon, man. Yeah. That is straight up Whedon. Yeah. I love him, but eye-rolling dialogue is
I was watching
Whedon.
the movie and I'm like, come on, Whedon, just give me some respect, you know?
Yeah, I know. And when did the Hulk and fucking Black Widow become a thing?
I'm like, I don't even read that many comic books, and I know that shit doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You know? What? I don't like it when directors decide to just create their own fucking universe storylines. Yeah. Anyway.
I thought your number 2 would be The Matrix, or one of the Matrix
I was going to put it on yours, and I thought, is that sci-fi or is that action?
Matrix nearly made mine. I would have put it as both.
Okay.
Especially Matrix 2.
I was going to put...
Reloaded.
I was going to put Revolution. That's number 3.
Revolution's fucking trash.
I would have said Revolution sticking number 2.
Yeah.
Idiot, yeah.
And I thought your number 1 was going to be Terminator 2.
Yeah. Well, would have
been
my
I got
1.
no points. So you actually won with 1 point.
No, you got 2 points because of Terminator 2.
Yeah, but it's not. I'm not taking them. I refuse your charity
what would you have put on my list had you known what my theory was? Like, you knew you couldn't put that.
If I had have known you'd seen Die Hard, I would have put Die Hard as your number 1.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't have Con Air. You know how much I like Con Air. I'm surprised you didn't have Face Off as well. Because I do like Face Off, but it's not worthy of being in the top 5. But I do love it.
See, this is my problem with you. When I think about, like, what am I going to put on his list? Like, I thought of Con Air, and I'm like, I don't even know if he's seen Con Air.
What?
Like, because all of these movies...
That was the first Blu-ray I ever bought.
I know, but all of these movies you haven't seen, they just roll into one, and I'm like, Dando has never seen a movie ever.
So, thanks to Pop Culture and 80s Tees. As I said, the links to their stores in the description of this video. Thanks to everyone that entered the aggro competition, the Pop Culture $30 gift card. Sorry if you didn't win. You have to enter next week. Next week, we're going to be doing the top... What is it? The top TV villains.
TV villains.
Of all
which
time.
Apparently Hannibal Lecter is not one.
He is. So thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. And Michael, any final words?
Lock your doors on Purge Night, or I'm coming to get you pregnant.